now, the feature so many of our listeners wait for each day. Producer's Picks.
Jared Diglio is my producer, and right now he's going to tell us what's on his mind. Take it away, Jared.
All right. Well, we have talked about the lasting repercussions of lockdowns and COVID and everything, and we bring up often that President Trump said that the cure cannot be worse than the disease.
Yes.
The cure is officially worse than the disease.
Why do you say that?
Not just for the massive amounts of businesses and industry that it's destroyed, not the disease itself, poor reaction to the disease, I should say, but mass culture became a thing, and now vaccine culture is becoming a thing, and we are doomed as a society.
What is vaccine culture?
Well, there's a couple stories I've read the past few days. First, BuzzFeed, of course, put out a wonderful little think piece where they interviewed people on how they basically blackmailed family members into getting the vaccine. There were people who said they told their grandparents they wouldn't be able to see their grandchildren if they didn't get vaccinated. One woman actually told her fiance she would not marry him if he did not get the vaccine. And I just want to say, if you have to bludgeon and bully and blackmail people into doing what you want, you are a horrible human being. And those people would probably, and I know it's tough to say about a grandparent and grandchildren, but they might actually be better off without you in their life if you are going to put those types of restrictions and those types of conditions on family and friends.
Well, especially the girl who's telling her husband or her fiance, I'm not going to marry you. I mean, that seems like a red flag to that guy.
Yeah.
Take it, man. Take that red flag.
And speaking of that, this is from the National File. They posted this, which is, it's a little sad, and I say this a lot. We have a different perspective of everything because we have not been locked down for a year. We have been able to still continue to go to work and lead a relatively normal-ish life. We have not been stuck in our apartments. We have not been isolated. We haven't been that. But there was a woman who could not have her wedding, and you understand this, could not have her wedding because of the pandemic, but she wore the wedding dress to get her vaccine. And I'm never going to judge people for how they handle difficult situations mentally. I'm not judging her. I'm just saying the fact that it got to that level for her
I don't even get it.
is awful. And people like Charlie Baker and Dr. Fauci especially should be ashamed that they drove people to that type of a mental state.
Now, here's, and I'm not overly, I should be more of a practicing Catholic. I should go to church more. I should do a lot of things more than I do. But I am starting to understand now why people think that we do not have enough religion in our culture, because you need to have something to worship that is bigger than this. You can't be putting your hopes and dreams and aspirations and fears into, NBC News or like a vaccine or Dr. Fauci. You need to have something beyond all this because it's sad.
Yes.
Can we circle back to the fiance?
Yes.
Who says, if you don't get the vaccine, I'm not going to marry you. You know what your answer is with that, Jared?
All right, cool. See ya.
Is it a promise or a threat? Sorry, just had to get that in.
But possibly the worst offender comes from the Atlantic, which brought such great journalism as the losers and suckers comment.
Big fans of anonymous sources at the Atlantic.
Yes, well, there is now been decided that Pfizer is the hot person vaccine, which is much cooler than Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson is like the poor people vaccine. I mean, that's...
Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up, because Will, who's, in case anyone doesn't know this, he's my fiance, and now everyone's going to say, Grace loves to say the word fiance. She loves bragging that she is a fiance. Oh, my fiance. That our wedding got postponed. I would love nothing more than just to call him my husband and spare you all the incredibly obnoxious word fiance. But alas, Charlie Baker, here we are. So Will is not very political. He doesn't get involved with politics a lot. And this is one thing that drives him crazy. He's like, all this talk about what kind of vaccine did you get? I got Pfizer. I got Moderna. He's like, you never heard this before. Like people shopping around. Ooh, I got this one. It's so much cooler than that one. And I would always be like, yeah, whatever. It's just a new thing. People are just, but that kind of proves his point.
Yeah, Joy Reid, yes, when she was talking about jogging with multiple masks, she said she's on Team Pfizer.
Team Pfizer. We got to stop, guys.
The lamest sports league ever.
You know what? And let's leave religion out of it. Let's just say this. We need hobbies. We need hobbies. That is going to be my platform. If I ever run for anything, I'm going to say we need hobbies.
Yes, like crochet or eating ice cream.
Yeah, I'm not one to judge here because my hobbies include Twitter, so I'm probably not the best.
I collect comic books. Like, I'm not in a position to judge other people's hobbies.
No, but that's actually not a bad one. That's like something that's not political, not crazy. You just do something you like, you're passionate about it, and you're not hurting anyone, and it's a good thing. All this focus on these liberal virtue signaling people, and we're like worshiping the ground they walk on. It's messed up, y'all. Learn to crochet like Kamala.
So you're familiar with the curious case of Kelly Donahue?
No, I'm not.
Kelly Donahue is a Winthrop, Massachusetts native, actually, who was the Jeopardy contestant who won 3 times in a row. And when they asked him how many times he won, he flashed the number 3, and he used his middle ring and pinky finger.
And they thought it was the white power symbol.
And they thought that, they didn't. Normal people didn't, but the internet and the busybodies and everybody, the Karens and the crazy lefties, thought he made the white power symbol.
By the way,
Jeopardy.
Everybody makes this symbol by accident at some point in their life. It's a very common way to form your fingers.
Yes. A lot of people, and especially in this area, will say, 3. You will throw up it's like an okay, but you turn your fist. It's not a gang sign. It's not a white power sign.
I'm from Milton, and people used to throw up that same symbol for East Milton. You know, if you're from the east side or the west side.
I'm from Lynn. I never threw up any signs. I didn't know who was where. But Kelly Donahue, after all this backlash, had to go to his Facebook and actually post this. I just wanted to clear something up about my recent appearances on Jeopardy, the greatest game show of all time. Competing on Jeopardy was a thrill of a lifetime, and being a returning champion is something I'll never forget. Many of the great champions of old had a little signature hello they would do on screen when being introduced by Johnny Gilbert. I decided to count my victories. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3.
Stop.
No more, no less. There wasn't a hidden agenda or any malice behind it. Had I managed to repeat as champion, you would have been treated to a 4. Instead, we have a new returning champion, and I don't think I could have beaten her even if I had known Vancouver. She was great in Double Jeopardy. Congratulations, Dana. Good luck. The fact that he had to apologize.
Never
for
apologize. This. Everyone stop saying you're sorry, okay? Everyone. I don't want any more sorries, because guess what? They don't mean anything anymore.
I don't like your white power tone of voice there, Grace.
It's like saying crowd in a Wolf theater. Nothing means anything. Say you're sorry when you're actually sorry. You're not sorry for that. You didn't do anything wrong. Gosh, this country needs a backbone. We're getting softer by the day. Makes me sick.
And congratulations, Boston University seniors. Your commencement speaker this year will be?
AOC.
Close. Ayanna Pressley, Massachusetts representative. So enjoy the lecture on your privilege.
I wanted to actually say, beyond the coronavirus stuff, which is another reason that I'm very happy I'm not in school, and I do feel so badly for all those people who are missing graduations and proms and all that stuff. But just with the current climate, with these schools, with teachers, and the critical race theory, I'm so happy that I am no longer sitting in a classroom. I don't think I'd be getting in fights with people. And my teachers, I mean, some might disagree. I might be fact-checked on this. But I got along really well with my teachers. I had teachers in high school and in college who I really, really enjoyed. I was a fairly good student. But it was just a different time. Like, you could argue with people. You could talk about things. Now I would be ostracized. I don't know. I'm just happy that I'm out. All right, guys, when we get back, we're talking to Howard Lawrence Carr about what he has planned for his Friday show. We're going to get his take on Craig Melvin's hard-hitting interview with Joe Biden. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Friday, and it's the Grace Curley Show.
She's never held office, but she paid the whiskey priest's monthly rent once.